Hey, John Morris here, johnmorrisonline.com. Welcome back to another episode of the John Morris Show. $5,857.20. That has been the top so far. That's the highest that I've hit for revenue over on Skillshare. And that is just Skillshare. That doesn't count Udemy, sales on my own website of my courses, YouTube, or even what I get from freelancing. That's just one revenue stream from Skillshare, which for a lot of people, that's better than a lot of jobs that you might find out there. But the important thing, what's more important than the number, is the consistency. So to go through that a little bit, 5193, 5463, 5857, 5744, 5392, 5042, 5277. So those are just some of the numbers month over month over month of the revenue that I made. Again, just purely from Skillshare. And sure, some months it might be lower than that, but constantly hitting that 4 to 5K range from a single revenue stream, that's not too bad. And it's kind of like my own personal UBI. And as I found out, a great way or a simple way to kind of pandemic proof your business. And one of the things with that I've sort of learned is that, when something like that happens, that's totally unprecedented and you don't know exactly what's going to happen. I had a client of mine that had to cut back. And if that was my only source of revenue, then I would have been in a lot of trouble. But because I had this other part of my business, I have these other revenue streams in place. Sure, any lost revenue hurts, but it wasn't it wasn't a situation where I was starting to panic or anything like that. So again, it's just a simple way to be able to deal with the unprecedented as well. And the more revenue streams that you have, the more pandemic or recession proof that you might be. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that you're going to do the same kind of numbers. I have no idea what you would do. You might do less, you might do more. I really have no idea. And I'm also not saying that this is necessarily some insane amount of revenue, although, like I said, for a lot of people, that would be a pretty good job if they were making that sort of revenue. The real lesson, though, is the how, because the majority of that comes from it's on pure autopilot. I do promote my new courses when they come out, and a lot of people maybe focus on that, but I have over 25 plus courses, and there are a lot of courses that I've had around for a while that I rarely, if ever, promote or tweak or do anything with, and they sit on Skillshare and they bring in 500, 1,000, 1,500 or more every single month, month after month after month. That is what I mean by leverage. That's what I mean by breaking the time for money paradigm. I invest zero time or almost zero time on them now, and they still earn me revenue years later. That's what's so powerful about an online course. So maybe you never want to become a full-time info publisher. That's great. I'm sort of with you. I like teaching, but I also still like freelancing. So I get it. Maybe you don't want to become one of those internet marketing dudes or the people running ads on Facebook and all that sort of stuff. I get that. But what if you could add an extra steady flow of 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 to your bottom line with a product that requires very little effort on your part? And that's especially true because, in my opinion, freelancers are already so perfectly positioned to take advantage of this. Because it's very likely that you're already an expert on your topic. In order to freelance and be able to deliver for clients, you have to know more than the average person on that particular topic. So you're already an expert. You don't have to know more than everybody else on the planet, right? You don't have to be some super expert. You just have to know more than other people, and then those other people be willing to learn from you. And especially in the environment where we're in now, where almost everybody's a content creator, you as a freelancer have a real advantage. You have a real backing behind you to say that you're an expert because you're working with clients day in and day out on this particular topic. So you're already an expert. You already likely have authority in the market again, because you're out there doing this, you have testimonials, you have from clients, you have a portfolio, you have all of these things that help establish authority. You already have them. You already have a website. You're probably already doing social media, etc., etc., etc. You already are doing 90% of the things that you need to do. You just need to create a course and put it up for sale, or throw it on a site like Skillshare, or better yet, do both. And for those of you who might be brand new, right, you maybe don't have the expertise, you don't have the authority, but even if you're an aspiring freelancer, you're still working towards building the expertise, working towards building the authority. Okay, so you're still headed down that path. Why not bring an online course right along with you? And oh, by the way, that course can actually to help you to establish some of that authority. Because in order to create a course on a topic, you have to actually know something about the topic. Just like I've talked about, writing a book, being an author on a topic can help you establish instant authority. Same thing with an online course. So the course can actually help you to establish your authority as a freelancer and get going. In fact, I would recommend that if you're a brand new freelancer, one of the first things that you should do outside of creating your portfolio and getting your delivery down and all the basics of freelancing, also consider creating an online course right away to help you establish authority. And a lot of the students of that course are then perfect candidates to upgrade to your freelance services. So you can actually use the course as a tool to help you build your freelance business. So again, it's just such a no-brainer for freelancers. Now, obviously, I'm biased, right? Because I teach a course on courses. So take whatever I say with a truckload of salt, form your own opinions, make your own decisions, all of that. But it just seems so obvious to me that it's just such a simple fit for freelancers to add this easy revenue stream that doesn't require a lot of extra work, and that you're already perfectly positioned to take advantage of. I think what holds most people back is that they're scared, right? Not sure what topic you should pick. Is this topic going to be one that does well, that performs well, people want to learn, that's good for my audience, that I'm going to feel comfortable teaching? All of those questions, right? Or worried that people might not like the course. Can you create a valuable course? Might be worried about, getting on camera or your voice or your audio, whatever, all of those particular things. Or if you do get the course created, then just not sure if you're going to be able to sell it and actually be able to market it and get people to buy it and so forth. But again, I've created over 25 courses. All of that stuff is the easy part. All you really need is a proven framework for creating your course, and then a little insight into what value actually is, because everybody will tell you, okay, put a bunch of value into it. Well, what is value actually? And I explained all this, the framework, what value is. I explained it all to my little brother in about 10 minutes. And he's already halfway through the course that he's been putting off for over 2 years. So it's not super complicated. And the method that I teach is as foolproof as you can get. And it's really all about creating depth in your course and then understanding what value is. And I'll just tell you, it's obvious when you start creating courses, because the feedback you get almost always is the same. And there are certain things that no matter how much you put into a course, students will always want more. It's not that they won't be satisfied. Right? I get tons of positive reviews. They're really happy with the amount of value that's in it, and yet they still always want more. And there are specific things that they always ask for. Matter of fact, I talked about this on a YouTube video the other day, and one of the very first comments was someone pointing out what they didn't like about a lot of online courses, and it's the exact thing that I talk about inside of my course when it comes to value and what makes something valuable. So it's really obvious, and there's some really specific things that you can do to create depth so that you have a framework that you can inject a ton of value into, and then knowing what value actually is, what those things are that people want, so then you can just cram your course full of those things. And so again, that's the framework that I use, and that method that I teach, like I said, is about as foolproof as you can get. But again, that's all the simple stuff, okay? All the things that most people worry about, it's the simple stuff. The hard things are expertise, authority. Those are the things that are hard. That requires you actually buckling down and learning something and getting good at it. That's the hard stuff, right? Expertise and authority are the hard parts. But as a freelancer, you already have those. You already have the two hardest things to get. Or if you're new, you're already working on getting them. You already have a reason for doing it. So you have what you need in order to have a successful online course, or you're working towards it already. So again, I just think freelancers are perfectly positioned to add this as an easy revenue stream. But, I know some people won't see it my way. So to each their own. Like I said, form your own opinions, make your own decisions. But I just think it's such a simple way for you to add a highly leveraged revenue stream, where you can have a stream of income that doesn't require a ton of input on your part. You don't have to be sitting in a client meeting, right? You don't have to be on a Zoom call. You don't have to be clocking hours and doing time tracking. It's not based on time, right? It's based on the information. It's based on knowledge, and you can leverage that knowledge to get more out of what you know besides just what you earn from freelancing. That said, if you are considering doing this, and I do recommend taking a look at my Sane Course Creation course before you dive into all of it, because like I said, I'm going to give you that framework for creating depth in your course, and then the key insights that you need into what actually makes information valuable, so you can create a course with depth, with volume, but also crammed with valuable, actionable information. And it's more than just laying out a process. That's what everybody else does. That's not what I'm talking about here. There are very specific ways to create depth and create value inside of your course that I've picked up over the last 25 courses that I created. And the whole point is that when you're done with your course outline, which is the key piece, okay, this is the thing to understand. The key piece is your course outline. Because once you have the course outline done, you'll know it's crammed with value. That's the point at which you're putting the value into it. Not when you're recording. When you record, recording's easy. If you prepare yourself properly with the course outline, the recording part's simple. Okay, it's just about having some halfway decent equipment. You don't have to spend thousands on it. And I do cover all of that inside the course. But it's the course outline. That's where you create depth. That's where you cram in all of the value. And then recording is just knocking it out. So when you're done with the course outline, it will be crammed with value. You'll know it's crammed with value before you sit down to record. And I'm confident that there will be no question in your mind whether or not your course is valuable if you do it the way that I teach. And that's going to allow you to be more confident, more aggressive in how you sell your course, offering it on more platforms and more scenarios, because you know it's crammed with value. Plus, of course, I'm going to give you a bunch of tips and lessons learned, equipment, software, all of that stuff. I cover all of the basics of that stuff in the course. A bunch of lessons learned and tips, sites to avoid, the ones you should look into, how you should deliver your course, different options. It's all of that stuff's in there. That'll save you a ton of time in terms of research and heartache and trying things that don't work and so forth. So again, just leveraging my experience with over 25 plus courses to share that with you and save you that time and that heartache. Anyway, the course is currently up on Skillshare, which means you can get it essentially free. And that's because as a Skillshare teacher, I can get you an exclusive 1-month free trial of the course. Now, the normal trial is just 7 days. If you go to Skillshare.com right now, you'll see a 7-day trial. But as a teacher, I can get you an exclusive 1-month free trial. So if you want that extra time, then this is the place to get it. And with that, you get 100% unfettered access to the site. Every course, every lesson, every PDF, every download, the whole enchilada on over 30,000 plus courses on every topic that you could imagine. Graphic design, web design, marketing, business, other freelancing courses, etc. It's all in there. You get access to all of it with the trial. And then if you simply cancel before the month is up, you never pay a penny. So yeah, it's a few hoops to jump through for sure, but may just be worth it to you, especially since I'll be taking the course off of Skillshare at the end of July. And that's not a gimmick. I will take the course off of Skillshare at the end of July. So if you want it, you not only have to get into the trial, you have to watch the course before then. And it's close to 5-hour course. So you'll want to get in as soon as possible. And once I take it down off of Skillshare, at that point, I'll sell it on my website and you'll have to pay around $150 or so to get it. So that is the deal. If that floats your potato, then the link to get the exclusive free 1-month trial is myjohn.us/sane. Again, that's myjohn.us/sane, SANE. All right, that'll do it. We'll talk to you next time.